Hello, Awakeness. So I'd say welcome, except for the fact that you're always already here. So I can't say welcome and I can't say goodbye. In fact, I am you, so there's really very little point in saying anything. Nonetheless, I noticed that this unit's going to go ahead and do a recording. Apparently, at least it's going to try. And what I want to talk to you about is this always already here, but you won't confess to it. Awakeness, you have one problem only, which is misidentification. The unit is not misidentified. The unit isn't identified at all. It's a body, but it's an empty body. It's just a, it looks like there's a lot going on over here, but really, and there is, but there's no one home. It's just going on all by itself. So what you're in is denial. Let's just call a spade a spade. You're in denial. You are awakeness. You have always been awakeness. You always will be awakeness. And when you don't insist on pretending to be other than awakeness, you don't have a problem in the world. You really do not, I swear to God. I have had so many people come to fresh awakenings even, and I just ask them, so in the absence of a Bob or a Carol or a Fred or whoever, can you find a problem here? And I've never had anybody be able to find one, never, not the first one. So problems are imaginary, but they're not the product of the character's imagination, because the character doesn't have an imagination, because the character is not a being. The character is a figment of your imagination. And when I say your imagination, I certainly don't mean that unit over there that it looks like I'm talking to, but I'm certainly not talking to. It means that it's the imagination of awakeness. And whenever you believe you're a human being, you give yourself great gifts, and then you give yourself great torture. And, within relativity, there's a balance there, but it's not a balance that we necessarily would agree with, because it's not a matter of the good things don't necessarily mean good things for the character. So there are no good things or bad things within truth. There's just what is. But in what a human being would label good and bad, then that's going to determine where you're looking from. And if you're believing that you're one of these, and you believe that you're looking through these as the being that inhabits the body, well, get ready for trouble. That's what happens. That's what happens with this. It doesn't have to be, but that's the way it is over there until it's not. And it's the until it's not that I'm inviting you toward today. Because I invite you to be conscious awakeness, to be alert, conscious awakeness right now. You can't get out of being awakeness because there's nothing else. There's just one thing going on. I can't make sense of it. You can't make sense of it. Nobody can make sense of it, but it's just the one thing going on. And you can't actually talk about it. We can try. We do. We talk around it, but we can't talk about it because it's beyond language. It's prior to language. So we can't talk about it. We can't share it. We can try. We can give pointers and everything, but you've heard that's the best the teachers can do, is to offer you pointers. We can't be direct about it. But you don't need pointers. All you need to do is notice the most obvious truth that there is. My goodness, awakeness. Can you not see that this, and when I say this, what am I? I'm not pointing at anything. I'm being brightness. There's just a brightness here. You can see, can you not? You can hear. You can do all of the senses. They're not your senses, because you think you're the body and you think they're the body's senses. I don't want to say they're not the body's senses, but they're not, but the body is not the end user. You're the end user, and you, if nothing else in the world, please get it straight that you are not the body. The body is not you. What is the body? It's a body. And, funeral homes are full of them. And once they get there, they don't do anything anymore, right? Because they're dead bodies. And really, all of these bodies, we could say, on one level at least, that on a very true level, they're all dead. They're all dead. This is dead, that's dead. All of these things are dead. But the saving grace, so to speak, is that there's an animating presence. When I say animating, there's a thing that's making this look like it's alive. When we look at animation on Saturday morning cartoons or something, then what we notice is the animation makes it look like drawings are alive, doesn't it? Yeah. Or you can have CG, computer generated characters and stuff on the screen. And when it's animated, they can make, it looked like there's 1 million people in the fields outside of Mordor, right? And there's all the orcs and everything, just giant armies of them. And really, there's none of that there. It's just generating on a computer. And what makes us think that we're looking at something true is that it moves. And it doesn't move all in accordance, it moves irregularly. And but there's nobody there doing that. There's if you would, like the Wizard of Oz, that wizard behind the curtain. Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain. That's what they said in Wizard of Oz. And that's what they could say here with if this was a movie of Lord of the Rings. Is pay no attention to those orcs out there. Why? Because there are no orcs out there. It's all just animation. Animation, animate means to appear alive, at least. I don't know if that's the exact definition, but it'll pass. It'll pass for this. So you believe you are the body, but in fact, it's more true to say that you are the animation. And of course, the real truth, I can't say what you are because I don't know. And I can tell you that whatever it is that I am, it's been called divinity and a bunch of other stuff, good and bad, over the centuries and over the millennia. But there's nothing here to nickname. There's nothing here to I was going to say nothing to pray to, and that's true, but that doesn't mean that prayer isn't effective. And I'm not saying it is, or I'm not saying it's not. I'm saying that in some worlds it is, and in some worlds it's not. And I don't know how it works in your world. And when I say your world, I mean that character's world, but the character is not alive. It's awakeness operating through one of these bodies. And the operation of these bodies by awakeness creates something that appears to be alive on its own. That's the thing, appears to be independently alive. Take away the breath for a little while. Let's see how independent it is. Stop the heartbeat. Let's see just how independent it is, right? These bodies cannot function unless there are many, many, many intertwined operations going on inside and outside too. I mean, if this is the bottom of the ocean, I'm dead. Doesn't matter how animated I am, I won't be long. So when I say I'm dead, I'm talking about the character there. I can't die. You can't die. There is no death. There is, there's birth. And we could say that there's death because but it's really, there just isn't any death because there isn't any birth. You are the unborn. And all of this stuff that you're seeing and experiencing and everything, it's all your imagination. And I don't mean that character's imagination. That would be very limited. I mean, awakeness's imagination. Awakeness's imagination is unlimited. And it is a torturous vehicle if you believe that you are a human being at the mercy of God. Yeah, because I know God pretty well. And I don't need mercy, because there's nothing wrong. Nothing ever goes wrong here. Nothing goes wrong in your world either, except for the fact that you think it's your world, because in fact, we can come a long way without actually having to wake up by just noticing that it's not your world, it's not my world, it's the world. It is unowned, and it is essentially neutral. So you make your bed and then you sleep in it here. That's pretty much the thing. And how you make your bed will depend on where you're looking from. And if you're looking from something, if you believe that you are looking from a being that is trapped by this body or inhabits this body and is looking through the windows, say it's the windows of the soul, but it's the window to nothing, and which is not a bad thing, and it's not a little thing, but it sounds like it, and that's okay. This is all confusing, isn't it? I know it's confusing, and this is really meant to try to straighten out some of that confusion. And depending on where you are in the awakening process, this is not confusing. It is enlightening. It can be literally enlightening, right? It just depends on where, quote, you are, meaning how much awakeness wants to wake up through that body. Because that's what really happens, is there's nobody over there to wake up. There's nobody over there to get clear, to get enlightened, none of that. It's just that awakeness begins to recognize itself, and as it begins to recognize itself, as you have been probably doing for quite some time, those little glimpses, those moments of clarity, those are actually coming to see yourself. But God's like a flasher in the park, right? How do you like me now? It's it's hit and run. What I'm saying is just come on, and just come to see. The only thing that can wake up here is awakeness. There's not a body, there's not a person, there's not a being over here. There's an apparent being, there's a human being, but a human being means that there's a good-looking puppet over here. Oh, pardon me, the vanity is not all gone yet. And nor will it be, I don't think. I don't really have any hopes out for that. And waiting for the end of ego looks like more of a wait than I can stand. So I think I'll just accept whatever's ego's here and notice that it does not stop me from being rightly awakened. Nothing does, except my own denial. How do you come out of denial? Well, you're in the process of doing it right here. This is the process of coming out of denial. I've got about 300 videos on the process of denial. Let's just don't call it that. Some of them do, but most of them do not. You can watch those videos. I've got a bunch of books. You can read those. Come to Satsang on Sundays, for God's sake, and get yourself a living teacher to talk to. You can't imagine what a difference that's going to make in your life. It's just enormous. I can remember when I actually reached out beyond the world of books and videos and started talking to living teachers. It was very, very helpful. Very, very, and it helped me clear very, very fast. What it really did was it helped me see that I was already clear, and they could see it. And my first teacher used to say, you were always so clear. But I didn't feel like it, but I came to see that he was right. I just was misidentified. I thought it was this. Can you think of anything more ridiculous than that? God thought it was a human being, and if it was going to pick a human being, it picked this one. Ridiculous. Well, listen, I can't stay on the computer any longer. Betsy's got an important call to make, and she's in this room. So I've got to quit bothering her so that she can go do what she needs to do, which means that's the end of this meeting, but I've really enjoyed it, and I hope you have. And given that we are the same thing, I know that you did if you don't deny it. I love you. See you. Bye-bye.